thank you for coming out today.
Oh, no, thanks for having me.
It's unusual to do press at the end of a season.
Well, no, yeah, man, I wish we just did it at the top of the season. No, it's like, I always do press and I think, oh, good, I'm done. And then before the show airs, and then it's like, no, you got to do press every week while the show's airing, you know, to get people like going like, there's a new episode, you know.
Do you get that reaction a lot? Do you classify this as like a drama with comedy or comedy with drama?
Well, kind of just, my favorite stuff doesn't have any sort of classification. It's kind of just, it's a story, you know, and there's elements of all those things, you know, and, but we did have a very conscious, Alec Berg, who I created this with, we had a very conscious of the very first shot of the pilot be something that was more disturbing, which is Barry in a room and a man's been killed and he's just getting his gun and leaving. That almost was there for a purpose, not only to say this is what he does, but also to give you a sense of, here's a tone, this isn't, I think you hear Alec and I are doing a show about a hitman who wants to be an actor, you kind of think this kind of glib, kind of comedy thing. So we were like, no, we want to make it very real, lead with the drama, lead with his kind of existential crisis and the emotion, and then have the comedy be behind that, and that'll work.
Did this come from any real life existential?
No, when I want to murder somebody? Or? No. I mean, I think it came a bit from, I don't know where it came from. I mean, Alec Berg and I were always, someone just died. Like,
fainted with excitement.
Someone fainted, like, Alec Berg. I've always been interested in kind of people's violence and people's propensity violence and how it affects you and things like that. I just have been. I don't know why, but it's just a thing that you know, and from someone who watches a lot of movies and a lot of, you know, genre type movies, you do kind of go like, well, what's that guy like though in reality? You know, like, what would he be like? You know, the hitman you kind of see in a movie and then he's like being dashing or whatever. I'm like, isn't he fucked up? Like, he's murdered people, isn't he? Like, what if he, you know, actually thought about that, you know, and what he's doing and the amount of people that he's affected and, you know, all that. Right. And if he became aware of that, what would that do to him?
Well, it's interesting because the trailer we just watched, it's upbeat music, and like Henry Winkler is also known for comedy and whatnot. And so obviously you went into this, or whoever did the casting, I assume you had a part in it,
yeah,
went in looking for the certain type of characters and a certain type of people. And like even NoHo Hank is, you know, one of the audience's favorite characters, yeah, aside from Barry, of course.
No, he's better than Barry. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of him than I am. Yeah, no, we did not pick the music in that trailer. No, I was actually back there just going like, what is this music? No, but Henry Winkler was kind of like casting against type, you know? It was like, we knew we had this acting teacher, and I'll be honest, Alec Berg and I wrote it very arch. I mean, he was, you know, I think he had a cape. Like, it was very John Barrymore, like, listen you, like, you know, it was just too much. And we kind of knew that, but we were like, I don't know, it's making me laugh, but this is probably wrong. And then Henry Winkler came in and read, he auditioned, which was crazy. And then when he read, and he immediately brought this humanity to it, because he's an incredibly nice man, and immediately was like, oh, failed actor. That's who this guy is. He's a failed actor. He's a failed actor, and inside his studio, inside this building where he teaches, he's the star that he wanted to be. But every minute he leaves this, he's just an out-of-work actor. So he's got to stay inside this place, and he has all the status that he wants. And I was like, oh, that's a good character. But that all came from his read.
In the scenes, you're often looking down or looking away, and because he's making you laugh during.
Well, yeah, and if anybody's seen episode 6 this season, there's a scene where he yells at an accordion player. If you watch it, I'm going like this. I'm fully turning away because, yeah, every time he would yell, he would say something different. And that one he said, you just whipped out your accordion and just fucked this moment.
So does he do a lot of improv, or do you do improv with him, or how much?
Yeah, he improvises a little bit, and sometimes a lot of it is like we'll write it, and then Alec and I will get there, and then we kind of immediately go, "What the heck were we doing? You know, this isn't good." You know. There was a scene, the end of episode 2, when I come back to my apartment and Stephen Root is there and we get an argument. That whole scene we rewrote on set. Hiro Murai, the director of that episode, sent me a picture, and it's me and Alec on the set of that. I'm in a Barry costume, and Alec has a laptop, and we're rewriting it, and Stephen Root is just staring at us so angry. Like, get your shit together. Like, I have to learn all new lines now, you know.
It's so fascinating to me to watch them, watch you, and like everybody who's in the acting class with Henry Winkler, right? Because everybody else in their main characters in Barry are very just kind of like ditzy, I guess, for a lack of a better term.
They're actors.
Yes, they're. Yes. And then for the most part, when they get on stage, they go into character. They're really good.
Yeah.
Like in real life, they're real good actors.
Yeah. That's the only way it's interesting. It's like Kusno is a good teacher.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing I learned when you're writing. It's like it's more interesting if they're flawed, but they're actually good at something. You know, when they're kind of shitty at everything, you're like, why am I hanging with this person?
Season 2, episode 5, you wrote and directed that entirely yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
So, was that a different experience for you? Why did you decide to do that for that particular episode?
Well, again, spoilers. I'm sorry, everybody. Barry has to kill. We knew Barry had to kill this guy, Ronnie Proxon, for Loach, and initially it was just going to be this, like I think, just one part of that episode. You know, it'd be like a scene, or the end of the episode is this. He has to do this hit, and then I remembered that our stunt coordinator Wade Allen said, you know, I have this little girl who can do martial arts.
They've all seen it.
and he's like, she can do crazy martial arts, and he showed me this video of her, and she was like running along a house, and then she jumped onto a moving car, and it was her doing like all these crazy kicks, and her parents are stunt performers, and I was like, whoa. Cool, you know? Why do you have this on your phone? But Wade was like, so, you know, I don't know if you ever need a little girl or somebody to do some crazy shit, let me know. I was like, well, thanks, man. And so then when we were doing, what was it, the episode 5, and I was thinking about it, I suddenly went, oh, what if he went in to kill that guy? He doesn't want to kill him, he inadvertently kills him, and then as he's leaving, the girl's daughter's there, his daughter's there, and you're like, oh God, Barry has to kill a kid. And then she kicks the shit out of him. And so I kind of went off, we usually write in a writer's room, and I kind of went off and wrote that and came back and presented it to the table, and they were like, what? But they were into it, they dug it, so.